Hello. Right, this video is about the energy that we see as being negative energy. That once you strip away the thoughts that go with the negative energy, it's just an energy. I moved back to England 3 weeks ago yesterday, and it's been a really nice experience to date. And I've had no reason to have negative energy because I felt very, very happy and contented. The only thing that is kind of sad in me is the fact that I had to come back to England. I had to leave some people that I love very much. And so that is kind of been bubbling in the background, this real missing of my grandchildren and my son. And that's it really, my grandchildren and my son, because, they are very important to me. And so coming here and not being with them has left a kind of a hurting feeling inside of me because I love them. And everything was absolutely fine. And then yesterday morning I woke up and I spoke to them on Friday, and it kind of lovely to speak to them, but also upsetting. It's going to start me off now because I adore them. And so not being able to see them, touch them, be with them, um, it hits my heart. And so yesterday, I woke up in the morning and I could feel this kind of what I would normally describe as a negative energy in me. This kind of feeling of just sadness, I suppose, and it made me all day feel uncomfortable. And so by the evening, it was kind of like, right, I've got to sit with this now and find out what it is. And so I sat in meditation with this energy, and I noticed that immediately my mind, the contrasting part of the mind, was trying to find what the problem was and what the solution was to the problem. And, with its, because it doesn't like it, the more positive side, the higher frequency of energy doesn't like it. I've just been playing with the fire, I've got a dirty thumb. Doesn't like when the negative, what is the lower energy, comes in, because I kind of, in my daily life, sit up here in this. So when this happens down here, this kind of heavier energy, this part feels that it's going to be pulled down into this, and that all hell will break loose. So its default is to try and use the mind to find the solution to what the problem is with the energy that's going on down here, and to solve the problem so that this energy can subside and this part can just mill around happily. So this is going on. So the mind is trying to find reasons, and the only thing that it could find was my love and my missing of the people that I love. It couldn't find anything else. There was nothing else that wasn't right. But it was still trying to find words and reason behind what was going on. And then this lower energy came through vocally and was saying to me, the thing is, I'm not a problem. I am what I am. I am part of the human experience. You cannot choose to only have the higher energies. You have to accept that I am also here with what to you, or to this part, feels like a much heavier energy. Because this part doesn't want to be pulled down, but it doesn't actually have to be pulled down. What it has to do is accept that this, what it sees as a lower energy, is actually just there doing its thing, and it needs to be released. Because I've been, in the last few weeks, being in a different environment. I was living on my own. I had plenty of time for meditation. I had plenty of time for just being, and every night I would sit, and whatever energy, negative energy or whatever had built up in the day, or not even built up, just the fact that it's there, would be allowed to express or expel whatever it had built in the day. But it hasn't had that opportunity for the last few weeks, because I've been very much up here in my feminine doing what I do. And so it kind of got to the point where it was like, no, I have to express, I have to come out, because I just am. I'm here, I'm part of the experience of being a person. And if you don't accept me coming out, I'm just going to build up more and more and more. And so it's as if there's a lid on it, and you have to allow the lid off for it to come through, because it's always going to be part of being a person. It's the yin to the yang, it's the black to the white, it's the heavy to the light. And what I realised in this experience is that the light only wants the light. It doesn't want, it only wants sunshine. It doesn't want clouds. It doesn't want rain. It just wants sunshine and beautifulness. But that's not life, because life isn't all roses and butterflies and beautifulness. Sometimes it isn't. And so it balks at the fact that this other part sees life from a deeper, lower frequency. But what I realised last night was, because this part was saying, look, I just am. You can't do anything about me being here. Just come into me and allow me to be. So what I was doing is, each time a thought came, each time this part up here was trying to find a solution, the thinking part, trying to find a solution to make it go away, I was ignoring that and just sinking deeper and deeper and deeper into this feeling that we see as negative. But when you take away all words from it and just drop into it, it isn't negative. It's just a lower frequency. It just vibrates at a different level. It doesn't feel as comfortable in the body. It feels much more comfortable when we can stay up in the lighter energies than it does when we go down into the darker energies. But taking away everything, all the words from it, all of the thinking from it, it's just a different sensation in the body. And then I saw it's kind of like we have these tiers of existence going up from very, very dark to very, very light. And what we like to do is stay up here. We don't want to go down there. But when we don't go down there into this lower frequency, everything that we've decided that fits in that lower frequency becomes alive. So this energy rises up, it sits in that level, and it will meet there everything that has been pushed in there and not been accepted. And so that's when all the negative thoughts and feelings and things come in. And so this part up here is like, oh, I don't like that. And so tries to find solutions to make that go away. But what we need to do is to accept that when we drop down there, whatever is in there becomes like a loop. So it starts to play out. So you drop into that frequency. So if you think you've got, say, maybe 3 or 4, 5 people that live down there in that frequency. So you drop down there in your consciousness and they all start, oh God, this has happened, that happened, this could happen, that could happen. And then it plays on a loop. So then it's hard to raise yourself back out of that. And so then you can get stuck with that in that frequency. But in actuality, the frequency is just the frequency. And it has no thoughts of its own. It's just an energy field that is part of the tiering, the layering of consciousness. And it is never going to leave you as long as you're in a body, because we're always going to have this tiering effect going on. What it needs to be accepted, what it needs is for you to accept that it's there, and when it needs to come out and the lid to come off so it can expel its energy, you need to be able to allow it to do it by going, okay, well, I can feel that's there. It needs to unleash, so I will just drop into it so it can have its moment. It needs to have its moment in the life that you're living. And we all have it. There isn't anybody that doesn't have this sort of tiering. It just depends on how much stuff you have in you that you've not looked at and that you've rejected. Will depend on how, when it comes out, how long you end up being stuck there and what else it then releases within the structure. So, for example, it comes out, you've got something in there that feels really agitated and afraid and nasty, because it's a low frequency. So that's where those sort of things sit. And so it upsets everything above. But if you can, even when you're here, if you can think, oh, okay, I can feel that down here. So I need to drop into that, but not take any words with me, and just see what it holds. but then work through that what it's holding, and it will it will express because it can't help it, and it is just what it is. It's just a lower frequency. But we tend to want to pull ourselves out of that because we don't like what it holds. We don't like how it feels because it feels denser. But actually, it's fine. There's actually nothing wrong with it except for what the mind pushes down on it. It's actually a natural part of being a person. It just doesn't feel as nice to be there. The same as it doesn't feel as nice to be outside when it's freezing cold than to be outside when it's lovely and warm. And so we kind of want to try and control it. It's like it's the same thing as trying to control the weather. You can't. Weather happens, all weather happens, and it's the same within us. All frequencies, all energies exist in there. The problem comes when we start thinking about it and trying to make it go away. If we don't try and make it go away, we just go, okay, here it is. Drop into it, allow it to be what it is, take away the thoughts from it, or just not allow the thoughts to fully express. Or when you feel a thought coming up, you go, it's okay, it's okay, it's all right. Just leave it, leave it, leave it. Just drop, just drop, just drop further and further and further and further into it until you reach the bottom of it. And when you reach the bottom of it, where there is no thought, it just is. It's just a frequency of energy that doesn't feel as pleasant as this energy. But there's nothing wrong with it, and there's no getting rid of it. The only thing you can do is accept it for what it, fully accept it for what it is, let it show you what it wants to show you, and let it be. Because every time we reject it and we try and push it away, we put the lid back on the pot. We go, oh God, I don't like what this is trying to show me. So we hold the lid down. If we just let the lid come off, it expels what it needs to expel. Lid can go back on, and it can settle back down, and then we can go back up to here. But we have this fear of it when we're here that if we go down there, we're not going to get out because of what it holds, or it feels so heavy in comparison to where we normally live. Excuse me. And when we get very depressed and very down, we end up staying down there, and we're scared we're going to be pulled down there and not be able to get back out to the higher frequencies. But the accepting of it and the not arguing with it and the not fighting with it means that yes, we still have to go there, but we can go there willingly. We can stay there for as long as we need to stay there, and then we can erupt back out again into a more steady. What we really life is we should be somewhere here in the middle, and nice things happen, we go up here. Something bad happens, we go down there, but we return to here. But when we're trying to fight what's down there, we keep being pulled down there, and it's harder to get up to here. And also the things that reside down there, when we're always up here, they're not being heard. The lid can't come off, they can't express, and so they build more and more and more. So it's about learning to accept that not everything feels wonderful in the body, but you take away all the words from it and it feels okay. It just is. It just is. Yes, it feels heavy. Yes, it feels denser. Yes, it's more uncomfortable, but it just is. It doesn't have to be, it's the fighting of it that is the problem. It's not the fact that it's there because it's always going to be there. It's accepting it and think, okay, I feel that. It feels heavier. It's making me feel agitated. It's making me feel uncomfortable. I will drop into it. The lid can come off. It can express. Then once that's happened, it can go back down and I can come back up. So yeah, that's that really. I think that's all there is about that. So yeah, nice to speak to you and hope that's useful.